G'day, freedom lovers. It's Friday again, and we've got another top interview for you guys. Check it out. Got a new microphone. How awesome is that? Compliments of some fella in Charters Towers. He was selling it nice and cheap, $100 for a really top-notch Rode microphone. Certainly can't say no to that. And a big thanks to my good friend Mark for actually sourcing that one out for me. And of course, the lovely Laura for going out and picking it up for me today while I worked and slaved away. It's been another one of those weeks where I've done 10 to 12 hours most days of the week. Today was another 12-hour day starting at 4 a.m. So please forgive me if my cognitive abilities are a little impaired. Let's have a quick look. People are power. G'day from Tully. Good to see some locals as always. You guys are going to love this show tonight. It is definitely, and look, as you can see, our Rumble fans are now able to get their comments up. So if you're watching this from Rumble, by all means, comment away. It is a great day for the Cafe Locked Out North Queensland Freedom Network crew, where we can actually get comments from Facebook and Rumble. G'day, Vapu. How you going? It's so good to have these Rumble comments. We've been, oh no, I have, and I'm sure the others have complained for quite some time. It's just so painful that I have to keep switching screens to talk to you guys. And it's great to see straight away these Rumble comments are coming up. So, and and the next best thing is that means we don't need to bow down to the tyranny of Facebook anymore, to keep these comment things going. Facebook has been absolutely horrible. I was watching some of the other Cafe Locked Out stuff during the week, and I seen Morning Rise had censorship issues where Facebook actually changed what she cut out pieces of what was said during a live stream. So I'm guessing while you're watching it live stream, you get to see it, but then after the fact, they go and change it. This is pretty shitty, but we'll talk a little bit more about that on Sunday. For now, g'day, Carlo. How you going? Good video. No video footage. It's Mayfall. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. That didn't come up from there. Let's have a look. See, is that on the Cafe Locked Out side of things? Just give me a sec, mate. Let's see if I can sort out where that issue is. Just clicking random buttons until something happens. G'day, Pam. Perth here too. Wow. What time is it in Perth? I imagine it must be about 5 o'clock. Am I guessing correctly? G'day, Michael. Always good to see you, mate. Let me have a quick look and see what's happening from this point of view. I've got footage coming through on my end. So it's me, you fool. I'm not sure why you can see, yeah, we got g'day. Yeah, Kyle's is saying I can see. So I'm not sure what's happening. It's me, you fool. That's a lovely name, by the way. I'll give you 10 points for that one. 5 p.m. Good. I guessed that. Thank you. I'm going to learn all these different time zones sooner or later. I'm guessing you guys don't suffer from that insidious bloody daylight savings. Here I'm trying to put it in the back of my mind. Daylight savings is such a horrible thing. I can't imagine one on Rumble. Yeah, I'm looking at it on Rumble, mate. Yeah, people of the power. Everybody else can see us. I'm not sure why it's me, you fool, can't, but that's okay. Emma from Melbourne. G'day, Emma. So, look, as always, I'd love to spend all my time talking to all you guests. Maybe we'll have a show sometime in the point. But hey, is this microphone sounding good? Like for those who are regulars, I know like Vapu and Michael, Pam, I see you guys all the time. Does this sound better than it has in previous weeks? Like, just give me a heads up if have I, spent $100 wisely? Like, I mean, I think this thing's worth a hell of a lot more than $100. I can tell you that. But look, does it sound better? So, I got silent there. It sounds fine. So can you see now it's me, fool? Like you can hear, obviously, but can you see? I'm just curious to see what's going on there. But when you say it sounds fine, does it sound better than it has in previous weeks? Am I? Yeah, no, I'll pay that. I'll pay that. You can't go past the Angels, eh? Sounds perfect. That's great to hear. I won't be able to comment much tonight. No, that's fine. Caught 2 mud crabs. Yeah, well, Struth, mate. If somebody caught me 2 mud crabs, I'd be digging in pretty hard myself. Eh, nothing goes as well with a beer than a good mud crab. Although they are a challenge to get some of that meat out sometimes. Sitting there with a sledgehammer, sometimes those shells are pretty tough. Loud and clear. That's good. They're having dramas viewing freedom platforms lately. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm very excited to know that we can get these Rumble comments coming up. Like, this is so good because obviously Facebook has been doing some very dodgy stuff. Like I said, Sunday, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Switched on and off sounds perfect. Awesome. Sounds great as usual. Okay, cool. So does that mean I didn't need to spend $100 on this fancy looking thing? I mean, it's cool. It does this stuff. Like, I mean, it's, it looks really professional, but did I need to spend the 100? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm just second guessing myself at this point, G'day, beer o'clock. Is it any other time? It's always beer o'clock somewhere. At least that's what I've been told. It's a little bit wonky, but I'll worry about the logistics. What's the word I'm looking for? When things look good, I can't think of the word. Jason caught crabs. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that one, man. But hey, look, those mud crabs are a different story. I'm pretty confident our next guest will agree with me. That's for sure. Awesome. Looks great. Sweet. But yes, the boys do need toys, especially when it comes to podcasts. We need cool podcast toys. And it does look pretty flash. So Barry White, hang on. I believe you've said that before to other, cafe locked out people. Like, is that your only go-to, Barry White? Anyway, you're right. Sorry you're late. That's fine. I've been just talking turkey while lovely guests have been sitting in the background. Yes, aesthetics. That was the word. Thank you very much. Deed is done. Get your money's worth and enjoy. I will. Thank you very much. Without further ado, we will move quite onto this sad but amazing and astounding story. I'd like to introduce Mona and Earl to the show. Give them a big warm welcome. G'day, guys. How are you?
Yes, sir.
Good, thank you.
Very good, very good. So, for the audience, could you please, give yourselves a bit of an explanation to who you are, tribal regions, and so forth?
Well, I'm from Euro country. They called it Juru, but it's actually Euro. It's up just south of Townsville. And we 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 have our own boundaries here on this land, and which is where it's our home land. Mona can explain where you.
Yeah, and I'm Mona. I've got connections to Durumble in Rockhampton and Calcadoon tribe.
My tribal name is Tukabala Bambari. And we've been most of our lives. So we got. Do you want me to keep talking?
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, the big reason we've got you here today is because it was council who have basically sold your house out from underneath you. Would you like to start at the beginning of that story and how that came to pass?
Well, how that came to pass is what happened. We didn't pay we didn't pay them rates because we said, he said, we're from this land. And I went and faced them at the council and I told them. And I was supposed to have a meeting with someone there. And anyways, when I went and told him that day, I made an appointment to see him on a Thursday. And he rang me back and he said, there won't be no meeting. And I said, okay. I said, well, it was about seeing about paying rates. And any of the council kept sending us, we sent all our paperwork with our, and stamped with our Euro Tribal Governing Council on the letters, and they just totally ignored everything. And
So, sorry to cut you off, mate. Just to elaborate a little bit, how long had you not been paying the rates for, and before it kind of got to this point?
6 years.
6 years. So we're talking about a few $1,000s worth in rates.
Was
That
that?
Yeah,
they
about-
claim that they,
Yeah,
few
about
couple
6 years it was.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
around 20,000.
20,000, righto. So it's a big chunk of change that they're like, right, they want their money.
Yes. And
They've sent you a few letters, obviously, and there's a bit of backwards and forwards in those letters. Can we maybe elaborate? Like, I mean, over that 6-year period, how much, you know, was there a few letters going backwards and forwards, and what was kind of said in those letters, or did you ignore it for a while and then deal with it? What happened?
we kept sending letters to them, and their lawyer sent us it. And we sent the letters back to them, and we said there was no contract. We never made a contract with any of their lawyers or even the council themselves. When I paid the house, when I bought the house, I had nothing on it. And then they just said, and I said to my wife, I said, don't worry about paying rates. I said, because I said, we're from this land. And I said, what are we paying these rates to these foreign people who say they own the land? I said, they don't own the land.
So did you buy the property, like when you bought the property, did you buy it outright 100%? Here's the whole lot paid for, or did you have a mortgage on it?
We went through the bank.
So we had a contract with the bank.
We had a contract with the bank. We never had a contract with the council.
Right.
And
So when the contract was finished with the bank, because we paid the house out, you know, we were wanting to know where the contract is with the council.
Mm-hmm. And were they able to provide any evidence that there was
in an email? We sent an email to the council, and they sent it on to the lawyers, and the lawyer actually said we did not have a contract.
Okay.
yes, the lawyer said that when we sent them a bill, then they said there was no contract. We've got the paperwork.
So when you say you sent them a bill, you sent the council a bill?
Yes.
Is that in response to a bill that they sent?
So that's about like an invoice for all the rates that we were
paid.
paying.
And even when we bought the house, well, why are we buying, paying for stuff paying for the land when we already owned the land?
Yeah.
With their tribe. See,
I think Chrissy here has made a great point that we should be very careful about what we say here, because they might just grab this and use it against you in some manner. So just to be mindful of things. Just thought Chrissy made a good point there.
Thank
Sorry,
you, Chris.
continue.
But and so what they have actually used to get me off, they use the police to get me off. Now this is and I told the police this is a civil matter. It's got nothing to do with the police. And then when they used a liaison officer to ring me to tell me that the police were coming here to talk to me. But they come in here in full force with about 11 policemen here to get me out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they got us out, put us in jail, made out like we were criminals, took our photos and everything.
So they actually jailed you that day when they removed you from the house?
Yeah, we was in the watch house for 6 hours. They changed all the locks. Now,
I do have some footage here. Sorry to interrupt you. Just so the viewers can see. I just thought it'd be make sure. Hang on. This machine has put things out of order again. I'm just going to slide these clips in order. So we'll start here at the beginning of the footage that you sent me a while back here, where they tell us all about how much they care.
I'm sorry too, but I just want to be known to everyone here, as far as we're humanly possible to understand, we understand how emotive, how sensitive, how frustrating, and how what a massive impact this is having on you as householders, you as a culture, and we appreciate that.
So as you can see, there's only a couple of them at that particular juncture in time while they're trying to tell you how much they care about you and your people and the culture and all that, right before they're about to say, time to get out. So what are you thinking at that particular juncture in time when that's happening?
we didn't really hear it. But
Yeah.
when they did come and get us out, they said, the first lady said, and when she said to me, she said, under the Native Title Act, you were trespassing. And I said, we don't come under native title.
So when they say under native title, did they cite a specific part of it?
What you say?
Was
We
there a
don't come under.
specific act? Like
Yeah,
when
because
they
we
say
are,
under native title, like which section, what part of native title are you trespassing on? I'm a bit baffled by the whole idea that indigenous people can, be trespassing on their land and then native title is used to remove you from that land. That seems like that's doing my head in.
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No. So, like, was
Now,
there a native title section, blah blah blah, subsection, whatever? Did they cite that?
and I said to them, I said, we don't come under. And I said, we're Yuri Tribal Council governing council here on this country, on this land. And then and I said, where's your court order? And the other police lady turned around and said, we don't need one under emergency laws. So if it's under emergency law, what the hell are they doing at our house?
So, an emergency law. So, it was an emergency to remove you from the property. Is that what they were saying?
Emergency laws, well, because what day has actually come, because they sold my house out from me.
Yeah.
Now, for $90,000. And then they tried to send it. So we had to leave. And we only left that place with our clothes.
Mm.
I couldn't take, the shed was full of gear, everything. And when that police lady went there, she said to him, everything now here is all yours. That was with all my furniture, the whole lot. And so we haven't. And then when I think we left there and the police, so we went down to that other place we had, that tin shack, down on the reserve.
Well,
And
but sorry to cut you off, mate. Before we move too far in time, because there is a big story here. I just want to play a couple of little bits from
Yep.
when they removed you from your initial property. Just to clarify though, when you purchased that property, how much did you purchase it for?
65,000.
65,000. They sold it for
Yeah.
90. So in a sense, it's kind of a bit of a profit from that point of view.
Yeah, I got a lot of
Right.
work done to that house. Yeah, it was a 3-bedroom. I
Yep.
ended up getting another toilet and bathroom, and I built a big shed at the back of it.
Righto.
And I think it was worth about 280.
Oh, so it was valued at 280 when they sold it for 90,000.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a massive undercut.
yes.
How long had you been there for?
Oh, since 99.
And they sold it from underneath you in 2000 and
Well, that was it's 3 years coming up.
so we'll
It'll
say
be 3 years in
2021, 2020,
October.
2021.
Yeah,
So it was around that, pandemic time
October the 15th. They got us on.
of
Yes,
2020.
yes.
So there we are in sort of pandemic
And
mode, and the council still found the time to turn up to work so that they could evict you from your home and sell it out from underneath you.
yeah, and they had to get an okay from where they call this fella. They said he was a traditional elder from here, but if he was a
Okay.
traditional elder, we would have known him. We don't know him. He married into our family. He married my cousin, and he's got no bloodline and connection to this land. So they used him. We didn't find out till later who they actually used, and he was the fellow they used. And they used him for both of my other place too, because he said he was a traditional elder.
So they got
traditional.
let's just clarify just to make this nice and easy for everybody. So they got somebody who claims to be a traditional elder to sort of sign off on the paperwork that
and
they
he's
could
Indian,
remove.
Chinese, and South Sea.
Wow, so he's not even of an indigenous blood in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But you said he married into your family in some way?
Yes. Yes. He
So
married my cousin.
by their reckoning, anybody can come from
Yeah,
anywhere,
and-
marry into the family of an indigenous and claim they're an elder. That seems to be what the council's sort of saying in this regard. Would that be an accurate assessment?
Yeah. And that's illegal.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually done treason to this tribe.
It's, absolutely mind-blowing. Well, let's just
And,
play this other clip here from the day that they, took your property and arrested you, where they accuse you of trespassing.
They repeat the history again. And you can't come here and turn around.
Dispossess us of our lands again.
Shouldn't this matter be between the council views and the council and the person that bought the property?
What's going to happen is it's probably likely the matter might end up between yourself and a magistrate.
Yeah. Yes.
We would be happy with that. We would be happy
I need
with
to
that.
give you some warnings in regards to a trespass. So
No, you can't.
I
How can I trespass around?
$1 million question: how do you trespass on your own land? And particularly when they go around throwing, terms around like, it's truth. I had it and then I've lost it. We've got the Native Title Act, and then the what's the terminology I'm looking for? Help me out. Traditional owners. But it's almost like the term traditional owner is like you used to own it.
That's right. Yes, and we know
It's like a nice
that.
way of saying
And like
dispossessed.
well, see, when they come there, and because they said they was just going to come and meet us and to talk to us, but they had plans on taking us out. And
So that day that they've turned up to say that, they've said, "Hey, look, we just want to come around and talk," but what they actually
they
did
have
was turn
actually
up and force and
lied to us. Yeah,
and so that people can see. I think this next clip sort of really sums it up.
You're no longer the owners, the peaceful persons in
just-
peaceful possession of the property.
There they go, telling you you're no longer the owners. That doesn't sound like they've come to talk, does it?
that's right. They didn't come to talk, and they lied. They lied to us there, and then they lied to us in the courts because they kept some parts out of it. When they said, "Oh, what's there?" Well, that's what when we asked them, "Why did you lie to us?" So they took us to court 8 times for the both places. Even when they charged us with trespass, and I said to that lady, how did we trespass on our own land? I asked them in the courts. I'd actually asked them. I said, "You've had 9 months now to get the bill of sale from my ancestors to the Crown." And then the magistrate still charged it. They couldn't show us nothing. And she said, "You trespassed." Well, they're the ones that trespassed. We didn't. The police, the council, that fellow who supposedly, we told him, we gave him a letter that he's got to be removed from that house. But the police, I just stood at the footpath and I told him where that house is not his, and they took me back. They put me in Townsville Watch House for that overnight.
So when they charge you with
There was 8
trespass,
policemen that
that's
come and arrested
basic.
me that night, and they said I trespassed.
So they when they charge you a trespass, that was after they've sort of completed the sale without your consent.
Yeah,
They've sold the property to somebody else,
sorry,
and
you
then
just cut
gone,
out
"Well,
there.
we've completed this." I was just saying that at the time that they've arrested you, they've charged you with trespassing because they've sold the house to somebody else without consent or any, interaction with you.
Yes,
And now they've forcibly removed you after
without
they've sold the
consent.
house.
Yeah,
Mad.
and
So once they
even
dragged you out of
when
the
they-
house, did they continue to charge you with trespass? Have you been fined or anything like that after they arrested you and charged you with trespass?
Yeah.
Did they continue further?
they fined us for it. They still.
How
I
much?
haven't never paid the fine. I said I've never made a contract with no council, and I said and Spur threatened to take my license from me. This is no different. It's like they put sanctions against you. Well, they've been doing it all around the world. They do. They do to us too.
I'm not 100% familiar with how Spur operate, but I thought they dealt with traffic infringements. So they deal with all sorts of fines. They like the government's ultimate debt collector for all fines here in Queensland.
Yeah. So.
And when you say they were going to take your
Even
license,
when we
were
went
they
to court.
threatening- Sorry, continue.
Yes, they said my license is what did they say? My license is
Current.
wasn't not current till I rang them up, and I said to Spur, I said, can you please give me the where I have a written contract with you? And I said, look, I've got to take this back to court. But we asked them, the courts, to go to the High Court, and they ignored it. Now, if we actually come under international law.
So you appealed the decision?
So, sorry?
Did you appeal the decision and they denied that appeal? Is that what happened?
Yes.
On what
No,
grounds did they
no.
deny the
Yeah, so
appeal?
what happened was when I did ask, he just declined it.
He just said, oh, this will not be going to the High Court. That's the exact word what he said. I won't allow this to go to the High Court. That's what he said.
Is there any
I will
paperwork to
not
go along
allow
with
this
that?
to go to the High Court.
Wow. So, and that's
Oh,
what he
that'd be
said in
through-
the courtroom.
The transcripts of the court.
But even with, that's what he said in the courtroom.
And you mentioned the transcript, but we dropped out a little bit there. Did you actually get the transcript and it says that?
No, they won't give it.
So they won't even give you the
They want
transcript.
big money for transcripts.
Oh,
And
what?
even if you did, but they'd keep that, what he said. No.
Well, we could get it, but it'll cost us.
Yeah, it costs us big money. And then some people said, don't bother because they'll leave parts out of it. Yeah. And seeing also, when they done my breach, they said, oh, I had 2 breaches they made me go back for. They put the second breach before the first breach. So you're supposed to go 1 breach and they go to the second breach. No, they put
Yeah.
the second breach in front of the first breach.
How does that work?
So you can say, that was actually a kangaroo court.
Waldo here's got an
It's,
interesting question. Did you
because-
actually have a physical deed at the time? I'm assuming the bank had the deed because you went through the bank. I'm guessing did the bank hold the deed or did you hold the title deed? I mean, I know
No, we
that's
didn't
white.
get no deed.
No deed.
Yeah, no one gets no deeds. No one gets no deeds.
Yeah.
And they should have gave me the deeds, but really, we don't need a deed because the land belonged to you. And see, the reason what this all about is, they say it's Bindle country on this side, but there's no Bindle country here. They're using this other fella, like I said, from he's Indian. He's got Indian Chinese in him, and he's got South Sea in him. And none of the tribes here around us, they don't know him. They said, we don't know who, we know of them, but we don't know them as a tribe because they got no bloodline and connection. And they've been doing this for money all the time. We don't ask for no money. We all go to work here. So this is all about, and but I know where the boundary marks are. Our boundary marks are, and our law marks. So we're still
for
at
the
the
viewers,
moment, wondering what's going on with.
for the viewers, could you explain, boundary marks? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have no idea what that means.
Boundary marks. It'll tell you you got your land law, sea law, what's it, land law, sea law, and animal law on your boundary marks. Now, once you got that one, then your next mark is then your next one tells you where to go and where you got to meet. As a tribe to meet up to another boundary mark and wait there where all tribes meet. And then I come there, and then they'll see, when they see the sign, that they got to go and meet it.
Sorry, mate, we lost you there.
Yeah, well, they come back, they come to where your boundary mark is, and they wait at one boundary mark till the next boundary. When they get the signal to meet up, then they go to the other boundary mark, and they all meet up there to do their law and ceremony. Yeah, that's how boundary marks. That's why they put there. They put on every country here on this land, or every Yeah. So
Awesome.
that's how we know where we're from. Yeah.
Yep.
It's all over this land.
So the boundary marks are
So
fundamentally like a sort of a borderline, but it also.
Borderline.
I was going to say,
That's it. Borderline.
So it's like a tribal borderline. And once that, once they approach that borderline, they're also directed to a point where they can sort of meet with that tribe and request to meet or cross the land in some manner.
You can only go. Yeah. Yeah. When you go, like you got France and Italy, they're all on one. Well, we are the same on this land too. See, and we cannot go over to another fellow's land and think before we even go to any other one's land. It's the same when you go. They say you need a passport. You can't just get up and go to another man's land like that. We've got to ask for permission before we go. That's how we cross into one another's boundary. Once they know you and then they give you permission, yeah. It's the same when tribes come in for, how the time when we all met together up at Broadwater?
Yep.
Well, with all the tribes, they had to send a message through so that they can come there to meet with us. Yeah, no tribe can just automatically just these people so you got another fellow come from somewhere and he turn around and say, this boundary is this like Bindle, Euro and Bindle. They said it was but Bindle hasn't got the determination because it's still under Euro people here. They use Bindle to get me out. There's no such thing as Bindle. Otherwise, we would have known about it. We'd be related to these people being so close.
You brought up a very interesting. You brought up a very interesting point there with the Bindle, because particularly here in Townsville, they continuously pay respect to the Bindle people and amongst a few others. But are you claiming there is no Bindle people? And if so, what does Bindle actually mean?
Yeah, well, you got with the Bindle, you got these people. There you got Torres Straits in them also, and they're not from here. Yeah, this here is a very corrupt system because they all fought the native title. There's no such thing as native title, and that native title it's under the Commonwealth. It's not under, like it's here. No. So you got the Commonwealth. So they're all selected people to try and run this whole country. When even with the referendum, what they did, that was illegal, and that is illegal to all the tribes of this land and what to do, and they knew it. And then people who was voting for was behind the yes vote and from the land. That's what's been going on. They've been allowing them to steal, and that's what the government did. They've done it all over this whole land. And when you're talking about governments, they've not only done it to this land, but they've done it to all other countries all over the world. And this is the biggest problem. Like we believe if you want something, you've got to work for it and not betray anybody, whether you're black, white, or brindle. This is what this is about. So they're not only betraying us, but they're even betraying the other people who live on this land too. It's not only us, they're doing it to everybody. And it's a real serious criminal act, what they're doing. And if we can all get together as one, this can be solved. But when people are going against one another, it ain't going to solve anything. And if they let us, the whole system here, but that's why they try and keep everyone divided. And this is why we're having this biggest problem now, is living on our own land, and we just want to be left alone. Everyone wants to be left alone. But how can you be left alone when it starts from the top?
Yeah. And they seem to want to, encourage and employ other people to sort of, do the wrong thing by everybody else too. We'll give you a better deal if you go and do the wrong thing by your fellow man, sort of thing. I think it'd be a good idea to sort of bring up this particular clip here, quick 40-second one that shows again how the coppers, 1 minute there's a couple of them talking to you, and out of nowhere they're everywhere. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to play this clip.
No, the council's got it.
They're sure they're willing to give it to you.
No.
Either way, you're still trespassing.
No.
Hell, that's you show me the proof.
Okay,
wait up.
Wait till all these
So,
No. Yeah.
your name?
Well, we're not
Can we
going
get
to
your
yes, my
name?
name is Constable.
You can't take me from me.
Yes, that's what.
No, you can't. You can't. He's a tribal elder. You're breaking the law.
We're acting under the police powers.
Now, what criminal?
Don't come past.
Go there with you.
No, don't come. Go, no.
Do you mind if I talk to you? Sorry.
No.
Forward and you can get in by your own. We won't have to.
So it's interesting now, they're grabbing on your sleeve. They're physically starting to.
Yes. We had our signs there, and they walked past our signs, no trespass. We had a huge things, other signs there, with a low deal title. We had all them things there. And so we even had, and they come in there, pass them signs. So they talk about law here. There's, they don't abide by their own law. So what's that saying? If they don't abide by their own law, that means that there's no law here. They haven't even got a law here. They're just doing what they're doing.
Yep.
So, it's like I said, they really went out to hurt. At the same token, I still got all my family. We are still all right. They haven't hurt me. All they did was made liars out of themselves. And they wouldn't even leave us alone, even when they removed us from the house. When we went down to the tin shack on the reserve, that police, they kept coming every night. We had cameras up there and we could see them going past. Early hours of the morning, nighttime, midnight. What the hanging going on here? There's no law here. So, it's, it's sort of, when you look at it, they're doing what they want, the police. They're standing over us. They took all my guns off me, took my gun license, took all my guns off me. And what the letter said is I was unfit to hold, unfit in the community to hold a gun license and hold guns. So they took it all off me. And then blow me down. Welfare goes and gives us 2 little kids to look after. Is that saying that I'm unfit to look after kids too? Why did they bring the kids here? So what kind of law here on this land?
So did they give a
You
reason?
there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did they give you a reason for
So it's
taking
not a
the
very
gun?
good.
They just say that's it. You're not fit to have guns, and they took them, or did they actually give a reason for it?
Yeah. The reason, but all they said was you're unfit to hold guns in the community. Now, all them guns, we only get my tucker with it. We still eat wild tucker here. And
Yeah.
we'd rather eat that than buying mince or sausages from supermarket.
Mm.
And that's all we use the guns for. We don't use it for nothing else. We've got no purpose to use it for. And when the police come there, if they turn around and said I was unfit to hold, what do I want to shoot a policeman for? I haven't got any reason. I've got kids home. There was little kids home there when they all come there with their guns on. Because there's no reason for me to shoot or kill anyone. If I kill something, that means I've got to eat it. That's how we are. And I certainly don't want to eat human.
Yeah, it's a bit wrong.
And I said, I certainly don't want to eat human. There's enough tucker out there. So, but like I said, we're still happy, even though what goes around will come around to meet them on their day. And long as we're still making good friends with everyone and getting on well with the community, it's good. We're all right. Yeah, but I'm just glad that they've done it to me, because this actually, it sets an example now. Yeah, you're fighting for your land. It's the same thing what they're doing over the other side there with Israel. Them people are fighting for their land. We have been doing this ever since we were born, ever since my ancestors was here. They've been fighting for their land. Now we just want to live in peace and be able to. What is it? You don't want to be a slave to people. Why do you have to be a slave? What does everybody have to be a slave to these elites? This is what this is about. People want to enjoy their lives, but how can they enjoy their lives when the police are coming? They're taking everyone or out of house, kicking them and selling the house. The council selling the house under them, and that's what kind of system that one? That's an injustice system. It's very injustice in what they're doing, and we're just trying to fight it so that we can all, everybody can live in peace.
Mm.
And you don't have to be, anyone doesn't have to be a slave to these very evil people, and that's who we're up against. It's people who
Right.
want power. Well, and it's sad that they're supposed to be looking towards the future, but how can you look towards any future? There's no future there. Well, the elites who are getting 3 feeds a day and they're getting free houses. So, but never mind.
Yeah.
Hopefully we should be able to take court soon and go on to international criminal courts. And that's where I'd like to see it go. So I have been meeting a few people and where we can put a stop to all this nonsense and greediness from the zillionaires. So fingers crossed, and we'll all live in peace. Yeah, it's you didn't mind. It wasn't too bad when the first one, but then to do me at the second place too. And that fellow said that it had, when they kicked me out of the second place at the reserve, what he actually said was, 2 people, well-known people that I knew, they said it was a traditional elder that said that had no significance to them down there where the golf course. But all our tribe was living down there. And my great grandma, she lived down there too, all along the Plantation Creek. That's where they used to all live, all along there. And I think where I showed you a couple of spots down there, where the well used to be and everything. So, it's just we're living in a rot. Yeah. So, other than that, I do have witnesses to go to court with me, and we still have some good brothers out there. Yeah, and they're from other tribes that are helping us, and even other people who are not from this land, but they've been born here. They're willing to help me too. So it's hopefully this all should come to an end soon. Yeah, and the other people who are helping me, I give them a lot of support. By helping them, I hope to see them that when it's time for me to go to court, they'll be by my side too, and I think they will be.
I guarantee I'll be there in whatever
It's just a
capacity I
pity
can
because
be,
they
mate.
didn't want to see me win, because if this went... Sorry? What is that?
I was just saying I'll be there in any way I can, mate.
Oh, yeah? That's it. But if you've got a family too, you'll be there in our hearts. And if you've got a family to feed, so yeah, there'll be a lot of people there. But yeah, I'd like to see if you are able to come. It'd be nice. But if you've got work and
I'll bend over backwards,
we have a lot
mate.
of support have a lot of support out there from. Sorry.
I was saying
We have a lot of support
I'll
out
bend
there
over
from all races. Okay. Rightio then. Yeah, no, thank you
So,
very much.
it-
And
there's a bit of a time delay, which is making this a little bit hard. But what I want to show everybody right now is, after you were removed from your second house, you went back to another property that's been in your family for quite some time. Before you go on a little bit about that second
yes,
property, I've got a 2.5 minute video here where you walked us through that property. I want to see the people to really have a good look at this.
tell you what, she's lovely and warm in here now. And it's no good when you do a night shift and you've got to sleep in this place. So we've got to sleep under the big tamarind tree what's around us during the day. We're walking through. I suppose you can feel the heat already in here.
Yeah.
The only way we keep this place cool is we've got a sprinkler on top. And this is the lounge room. And we've got another bedroom. That used to be where the washing machine was.
So you've pulled everything out
Yeah.
in case they kick you out and you don't
Yeah.
lose your stuff again?
That's right. And this is the second time I'm losing a house if I get evicted from here. So this is the house I had to come to live when I got taken away from my first house. And this is the kitchen. Now, when they built these toilets and the shower, they said that he was the owner builder here. So,
And who's he? Sorry,
eh?
who's he? Who was the who was
Uncle Bill, my uncle, and when he was living here, after he'd come from the war and he got this place done, and so the council turned around and said, "Oh, we got papers there where it said owner builder. So why do they want to take us away from here?" You know, this here has been through my great granddad, granddad, two uncles, my dad, now me, now my youngest son. So it's going to be sad if they do take us from here. But hopefully might be able to win it back. And we can only do that with the community. So we'll have to just take it from there and see how we go.
You said your uncle was in the war. Which war was that, mate?
In World War II. He was
So we've got a surviving member of World War II being
Yeah.
kicked off his home.
yes, and and it's not good, but like I said, it's who that's in power that are not using their powers properly and when they should be. And we're the ones that have voted them in, and this is what they do to us. If they're doing it to me, they will do to you too. So we've got to stand up and fight for it.
When I was watching through that and editing it up, I found it amazing, just the humility and just how calm you are, even while this is happening. Like, here they are. I'm sure a lot of people are looking at that, going, "Wow, that would be a real challenge to sort of live in those conditions," particularly here in North Queensland, as you were saying. That it's basically a bit of a tin shed, and as a result, it gets stinking hot during particularly our summer months and whatnot. To the extent that you were sleeping under a tree. But still, it had a lot of heritage to you. As I understand it, that property was sort of a part of a larger property given to your people by the government. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
What do you say, Nick? Uh-huh.
Can you hear? So what that property was, because of all the, they used that as a Aboriginal reserve. So they had all humpies on there. That's where all the old people lived.
Yeah.
So Earl's family and that.
They lived right across there. You had Hanaways, Malayers, pullers. Um, there was Smallwoods there, but only the proper Smallwoods. The Smallwoods through Auntie Mabel. Um, that's the only ones that was actually old Uncle Les Smallwood. He was married to Auntie Mabel Puller, and he was that's the only Smallwoods we're related to. We're not related to any other Smallwoods. We say they're from here, but they're not. So even as much as like you get a lot of people who are for you, and then a lot of people have run us down and said that we got to pay rates, but it's the first time I ever heard where you got to pay rates to foreign people, and it's only another tax. Now, they get enough money from the land to even worry about charging people rates. If they talk about rates, the rates aren't coming to us.
Mm.
So they, with the rates, they could be helping homeless people, but they don't want to do that. They want to make sure that they all got a job and stealing from the land. So, which, as much as we'd love to help other people, but how can you help other people when they're doing this to us? You know,
Mm.
um, the rates there should be no homeless here. What are they doing with that
Yeah.
money? They're all living it up. And
Pretty
because people
confident that,
are so selfish, and when you get a lot of that, yeah, well, we gotta, and it's it's sad that the money is not going towards the people to be happy. They want people to be miserable and to be slaves to everyone, to them elites.
Mm,
So this is what
definitely.
we all got to put up with. If we don't pay our rent, they kick you out. If you don't pay your rate, they kick you out. So, especially in this country, it's it's as crooked as it comes. And
Mm,
they say your rates is that it's all over in Washington D.C. What the hell's it doing there? This is a question for
yep.
politicians to start in. If they want to start telling the truth, they say truth telling. Well, what do they tell all the people then? The
Mm,
truth of who really owns the land and how can we, because if we run it, everyone will be safe. But when it's in their
yep.
hands, in another foreign corporation's hand, they don't think about people. They don't think about nobody. Well, they don't think about man or woman or child, nothing. So, and it's the ones who are in them high positions. They say the money goes here and the money goes there. It don't come to nobody. Only the ones who are talking up and getting paid, even with the yes vote, they, like I said, they all millionaires. Said the money's going nowhere. It's not getting anyone.
Well, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's going somewhere.
And
It's just not going
you're,
anywhere
you're
near the
only,
people.
that's right.
I would just
You're an
like
only
to
tenant on
put
your own land.
mm, I would just like after we've walked through the house. So on that particular day, they'd sort of threatened to remove you from the house. As a result, a lot of your friends and family sort of came down, as well as all us mob from up in Townsville. We came down, and there was a
Yes.
little bit of a gathering there. we all did our best to sort of support where we could. And I'd like to point out that this is what the police said. So have a look. This is what the coppers had to say when they turned up after seeing the amount of people that were there.
How are you this morning, mate? Good. Yeah. It's nothing serious. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that nothing's going to happen today. That's all.
Right?
Yeah, nothing's going to happen today at this stage.
Well, I seen the time and I thought, gee, we're a bit late. So the good Lord's probably saved me, eh?
Well, what has saved you is a injunction was put in, and the matter's not going to
Okay.
be the matter's
Well,
not going to be.
we'll come.
heard
Can you
today.
come over here and talk to
chat
these,
to the
talk to the elders and that,
Yeah.
just to let them know? There's no harm.
Yeah,
Come to you if you're right with that,
I'm happy to.
and just to let them know because
No,
we had people from towns will come here too today.
So probably just want to make sure that you understand that
Yeah.
it's not totally
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
No,
But
we know.
what has
Yeah, I know.
happened is that obviously you submitted some paperwork yesterday, or paperwork was submitted on your behalf yesterday, and it hasn't been heard as of yet, and it won't be heard today. So it'll go through the courts tomorrow, and potentially a decision will be made tomorrow, or potentially it won't be made tomorrow.
So while we're talking about outright lies, that there was 2 police officers outright lying. Because as soon as the people moved, they came in and removed you from that, for lack of a better word, the tin shed that you were
That
forced
place,
to live in.
They made
So
us
tell us
remove
what
us that
happened that
afternoon.
afternoon. Well, once everybody had left,
Well, when
continue.
they come back with the letter after they turn around and said, oh, it could be 2 weeks or maybe 4 weeks. That's what he said, eh? And then as soon as everyone left, that's what they said when everyone was there. As soon as the bus and everyone left, I just dropped a maid off home, and when I come back, they pulled up and they removed us that day. And that was signed by a judge. So they already had that letter there. They actually lied. Every policeman that went there, they told us barefaced lie, them 2 policemen. And then we had the fellow at the council who turned around and said he was the one that, what was his name? But he was the one. Remember, he said they did not want to talk to us. Or they were, and he turned around and said to us, he sent a letter and we said, there won't be, what did he say? What did he actually say before? He doesn't want to, they don't acknowledge us or something. And yet he was the one that come there and read a letter, he had the cheek to come there and read a letter out to us. And I hunted him from there and I said, get out of here, we don't want you here. And then 2 policemen from town, but when they left, they got other policemen down to remove us. Yeah.
So those 2 in the video that
never
flat
mind.
out lied, were they there to remove you, or they got others to do it?
They come there with another police, with a police girl, I should say, because they come there and with other policemen then when we had to be removed. Soon as them 2 that lied, well, they come there too, and then they had the letter, and then that fella, he read the letter out, and it was one of the magistrates here who up in Townsville who signed that. So if that's supposed to be reserved, because we got history down there from where all their ancestors, what are they doing down there? Now, they're not supposed to be removing anyone from any reserve. So if they removed us, what hope has anyone got here? No, it was
And I'd
just
like to emphasise to the audience
very
too
unfair.
that second property, what was given to your people as a reserve. Now, am I correct in, I was under the impression that land was a lot bigger. It wasn't just that little corner shack that was what we got to see. That land was originally bigger when it
No,
was
yeah,
first
that's
given
right.
to your people. And it slowly over time, government and council have just
Yes.
encroached and
Now,
encroached and shrunk
it
and
went
shrunk
all
and
along.
shrunk.
Yes. And they sold
And they've
everything
got the
off, like in blocks. It was a good sized block.
and it's now a golf course now, isn't it?
The golf course, that goes into the Big Snake, where all our tribe used to live along there.
Mm. And they've turned it into a golf
Um,
course.
yes. Turned a golf course, then they had the Army Reserve down one end. I think it was a DPI. Was down all along there. Then you got then that park with that Gujara Cafe with the big snake there.
Mm.
And that goes all along on the river on both sides. And now it's all filled up with sugarcane.
Yeah.
So
And I was hoping to
this
sort of
is
get to it, but unfortunately I didn't, just because time restraint. But and maybe we'll come to it another day. But I do have footage here where you showed us where the sugarcane cutting knives were sort of buried into the tree to show the history of you people being there and working on the land as sugarcane cutters.
yes. Um and that tells yes, they work and that
Mm.
tree is so high it's not even funny because when I showed you that tells you how many years because that same house, well, there was two little huts there beside it.
Mm.
Uh, Uncle Eric Tatus, he was living in that house there first. He built that house, that little hut. And then when Uncle Bill come back from the war, then place of Arnie Earl. And um, so that's been there for a very long time. And because the other two houses that was there was my dad and my uncle. Yeah. And they were towards the creek mill, went down under the tamarind tree. Yeah. So you're looking at probably 100 and something years, 140, 150 years, maybe more. Yeah. It's been a very
Mm.
long time. But we'll see how we go when the time comes when we have to take it back to court. Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Another
but
thing I'd like to point
we
out, while we're talking about police removing you from your property, is this little article here from 2017, deadly new police patrols on reconciliation journey. A commitment by the Queensland Police Service to advance reconciliation in Townsville has been marked with the unveiling of 2 police cars adorned with specially designed indigenous artwork. I'm pretty confident that putting indigenous artwork on the police cars must have made you feel so much better when they come to arrest you.
well, that just shows you what I have just told you. They don't recognise reconciliation, nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a big con job. That's all it is.
It's pretty hard to see it as something else, you
And
know. I mean, the article continues to go on. The Queensland Police Service multi-agency Townsville Stronger Communities Action Group. Like, if that isn't a mouthful of marbles, and fundamentally means 2/5 of nothing. And the Department of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Partnerships
well,
joined forces to commission
when assistance,
unique designs for the vehicles. Like, wow.
yeah.
So, I mean,
So I don't know. Um, I think the government knows what they're doing. They just want to be
mm.
naughty, you know. So not
Yeah.
only to us, but to everybody who's on this land.
Well, they got
And
these lovely, articles out there, from mypolice.queensland.gov.au trying to tell us how much they care while simultaneously not giving a rodent's rectum and flat out lying.
well, the thing is, it doesn't matter if the police keep doing. Someday they got to get old because they always teaching young policemen to come into them positions. So what they're doing to me,
Mm,
they're going to do to them same policemen when they get old. What goes around comes around. So no one
mm.
gets away with anything. Yeah, so no, we just got to be strong and hope God comes to the rescue. That's all we can do.
Well,
Not
I'd
only
like to
for
think
us,
that the
for
people
everybody.
will come to save themselves, Like, I mean, as I understand it,
Well,
the phrase that I hear is God helps those who help themselves, but let's us the people start helping each other, and even more help should come
that's right.
theoretically.
Yeah, and I still help people today.
Mm,
Um, I went out and with people with high grass who couldn't keep up. I just went and mowed their yard. They didn't ask me to.
yeah.
I just went and mowed it. They just only to keep the snakes away because a lot of people got kids around the place, you know. And it's the
Mm,
poor people who are the ones who are struggling. It don't worry me to go and mow their lawn. I just go in and mow it. I done it twice for one lady here. She didn't even know I went and mowed it. I didn't tell her nothing. Just went and mowed it. It took me 3 hours, but
and
3 hours
that,
of my time. But it don't worry me because 3 hours of my time to help someone, I don't mind that.
and I think that's the most amazing part about this whole
It's about
story.
helping one another.
Yeah. And like even like as we showed in that video before, you were still so humble and well, it'll be sad when these things happen. I mean, I'd be struggling not to want to do some serious damage to somebody trying to come and take my property like that. Like I'm still so amazed being in the presence of yourself and so many of the other tribal people that I've come to know at just how well you take this constant abuse that is thrown out by government and police and people who claim to be in a position of authority yet struggle to demonstrate that authority. And you particularly you are still so humble like that. That is such an amazing thing to be seeing.
No, you got to be strong. And
Mm,
because the thing is, um, like I said, I still got my family. Um, they made it hard for my son too.
mm.
Bullied him, harassed him. So now that everything's sort of settled down a bit, and Like I said, they do make it a little bit hard by sending me the letters. The only ones that I never paid was the trespassing. I said, my wife's got to pay my fine because using my car. I said, you made that bill, you go and pay it, speeding ticket. Then they want to take my license off me. I said, that's your blue, not my blue. Even my son, when he drove my car, sitting another one speeding, so I said, here, go and pay that and tell him that you was driving that car, not me. So it's time for me to unregister all my cars and register with their name. So that's what I'm doing now at the moment. So yeah, I said but it's not hard to do. You sometimes you have your mind be somewhere else, but it should be onto what you're doing too. So we're trying to do the best we can and not break any law. Or well, it's against our own law. Because our laws are more stricter than what the laws have got. They've got here. Here they got criminal laws. That's what it is. So we've just got to be strong. That's all. And I thank you for everyone for supporting us. And also, our law is LORE, the law here on this land. So we gotta, if you wanna respect LORE, you gotta do that law. And it's we believe an eye for an eye, and that's the Creator's law. So um, we got to abide by that too. Otherwise, young kids when they grow up, they think they can do anything. If you're going to be like that,
Yeah.
you can't. You got to make sure that you're all right too. And
And that
everyone got to
soft
grow up.
hand hasn't done anything for the crime situation here in, particularly here in Townsville and surrounding regions. But as I understand it, all across the whole country, we have a massive crime problem because those who are committing the crimes, and it's not specific to any one race. There's lots of different people, particularly those that are young and juvenile and not subject to actual punishment, are getting away with it. Whereas, as you're saying, under the law of the land, the law of the indigenous, those people would well and truly be punished, and they'd learn their lessons and not do it
Yeah.
again.
Well, see, the only way you're going to fix that problem up is when I said we went to the police station, we were talking to two policemen, and I said, "You let the kids come back to us. Now, if they steal once and they think they can do it again, a hand comes off. So you think they're going to do it again? Because the other hand will come off. So you've got to bring that proper law back. That's when they stop, because when they all say, oh, blow that, I don't want that to happen to me. So this is what we've got to start doing. And it doesn't matter. It, even if my own kid done that, well, there's nothing I can say, because when it goes to the tribe, they've got to do it. I've got to stay out of it. So this is once you bring this, everyone's frightened. They're frightened to do the wrong thing. So this is why you got to bring proper punishment back, proper law. So you can't. That's why our law is a lot more stricter.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you play with another man's wife, that's death under our law. So yeah. But anyway.
So if we were to sort of look at things in a
What do you do?
a modern realm, where our laws are generally pretty piss weak, for lack of a better term, where those traditional laws were very, very harsh. Do you think perhaps in the new world construct that we're attempting to create here, we could find a middle ground? Perhaps we don't need to be so heavy-handed, but perhaps certainly not as light-handed.
Well, it's like you spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Mm.
You got to be. I know. I got belted with broomstick. Yeah, even for just coming home late.
I got
Yeah.
the wooden spoon. It wasn't a
So
broomstick, but even still, it hurt. But I just have to wonder, like personally, or yeah,
and if you
cool,
want to
you
be a man
stole
in that big,
something. I don't know about cutting people's hands off, and maybe that might be a bit much. Like, do you think maybe we should have like a stepping stone, maybe like like a warning at least before we
well,
lop your hand off? Like,
it's like this. Okay, if you leave them with all their fingers on all the time, and they just keep repeating and repeating and repeating the same thing,
mm,
something got to come up.
yep. Hey, look, I
You
agree.
know,
Multiple offenders. Like I mean, if somebody's perhaps suffering from some form of kleptomania, where they just they just steal and they steal and they steal and they're not learning, perhaps a severe punishment in that circumstance. On a philosophically, we're just nutting an idea out, but maybe a first time offender, a little, get the broomstick out, whack, right? Don't steal. Have you learned your lesson yet? Right. We'll get a bigger broomstick the next time. And eventually, all right, cool. You've done it 3 times and you're still not learning. Off with your hand. Do you think that might be a better thing
well,
rather than straight
if
off with the
you bring
hand?
that
Or
law back to this, if you have that law in this country, now you think even the government, or the so-called government, who puts themselves their spots, their positions, what would happen to them when they're stealing land and everything? That's why they can't have that serious law here. Because if they get caught for stealing and doing, and they have the right courts in here um, to correct everyone when they do something naughty or evil or something like that, because they won't have that proper law there because they're doing it themselves.
yeah.
While they're too busy telling these people, oh, yeah, all these, so they'll let them do what they do to keep everyone's minds in that spot and not seeing the big picture, what's going up on it, what they're doing. That's why they do it.
Oh yeah. I'm
Like some
inclined to
people
agree.
might say, I don't
I've
know.
contemplated that on many occasions. I thought I reckon the laws are pretty soft in order to protect the criminal elite because they know damn well that just about everything they do is wrong, and should they get caught in some way, shape, or form, they don't want to go down.
That's right. And, you it's the same when they let a Catholic priest go, let him go back, got him out of the country after what he did.
Yeah.
He should have actually faced them people's, the kids' parents, and I reckon
Mm.
they should have said, right, he done this. Okay, you kids or their parents can do what they want to you now. You're the one that's being naughty. Even if they want to stone him or whatever they want to do, put him there in front of them. They can kill him because what he did was very evil to them kids and very naughty. It's all in the
Bloody
court
hell.
system. It's everywhere, and that's what we're putting up with right now. It's stealing. Pedophiles getting off with this and that. You can't even name a policeman who done something wrong to you. Even in the courts, they went and did you showed in about Melbourne. Another policeman,
Yeah.
they charged him. They said he was charged. They said that, but was he really charged? His name wasn't even put up on this. They should be naming and shaming him.
Yep.
So
I mean, they'll
And this
destroy
is why
you
you
for
got
going
people
2
now
or 3
here.
kilometres over the speed limit. You know, you go over the speed limit for a couple of kilometres, and they want to basically take away half a week's wage. When it's rob the
Yeah,
people blind every
the
time you do a petty
jolly
little
louts,
thing.
they'll even.
It's hard to have any faith in a system that is so
The louts will
corrupt.
turn around. That's right. And while that's happening, and while them fellas are still in their positions, they will still continue to keep doing it.
Mm.
So this is why we have these wars now, because everything's too corrupt. And
Yep.
it's going to happen here. It's going to happen everywhere. And we all must come together as one, men and women and children come together.
Mm.
But it's I don't know if it's going to get any better. I think it will. I know it will. So I just hope I'm around to see it when it does.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, we're all here working together to try and make it at a better world. Yeah, I think it was such a great experience to come out in country with yourself and the other tribes, and not and to see you guys coming together for the greater good. And I think it's one of the best things that's come out of the government's attempt to railroad your people again and use and abuse you guys with the voice, was that you guys came
It's
together recognizing that threat and going, hang on, you ain't using and abusing us again. We're going to stand together. And white fella, black fella, everybody sort of who took the time to really understand what was going on had
yes.
said a big resounding, you will not do this again. So we fought off that demon in that particular point, and we stopped them from using and abusing the indigenous people yet again. The big question is, where do we go from here? And obviously we're going to do a little bit more with that in the indigenous documentary that I'm hoping to get together when I get the chance. And obviously anybody who would like to help us out there, here's the GoFundMe page, and that link is in the description if you'd like to chuck a couple of bucks into the GoFundMe to help us fund that. We still have some more editing and some more interviewing and things to do with that documentary, but without giving too much amazing stuff away, what do you think would be a great sort of move in the future that we could all sort of that everybody can start to do to start working towards the better Australia that we'd all like to see?
Well, for a start, they can, if everyone acknowledge the tribes, and that we can set up something so that we all come together, and you can meet the tribes, plus also meet the grassroots, and everyone come together, and they'll be able to hear each story from each tribe. Once they leave that place, when you leave something like that, when you do go home, back home to your house, your heart is open then to you seem like you're in peace. Remember the last time when we got together?
Mm-hmm.
It was peaceful there.
Oh, it's amazing. I didn't want to leave, but I had to because my son was about to be born, and I'm like, oh, I want to stay, but my boy's about to be born. born, and the gods were
No,
kind
you
and
got home
and
the
held
right
him in
time.
just till I got home, and I got home just in time for my son to be born. But I just knew, like, you guys invited me along. I'm like, I have to be there, and I did. I came along and I left at the right time, and I had a day, with Laura, and then bang, the little boy came into the world. It's just everything just worked out so perfectly, like the timing. I can't explain it any other than I guess divine will, in a sense. It was amazing. I got to experience that, hang out with you guys, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with the people. But I didn't miss my son being born either, and I don't, take it as you will, I guess. And and again,
Yeah, that's
I'd
right.
like to just like
But
you were saying, for anybody out there that wants to learn more about the culture, you guys are all so easy to approach and say, "G'day, I want to learn more." And as soon as I said that, you all took me under your wing, took me out on country, showed me what it's all about, and I've just got a thirst for more. I can't wait until we have a little bit more time in our busy lives, which is unfortunate, because fundamentally, why are we so busy? Because government and councils and all these third-party interlopers are forcing us to basically be slaves and pay them constantly. We don't have time to do the things that are important, like spend time with one another and learn more about one another. Instead, they set these divisive paths against us, like The
and see,
Voice
when we
and
have
many other.
when we do all meet, we'll meet as tribes, and we don't mind other people being with us because our hearts are open. But it's something when other people come there to see us like that, they see how we are open towards one another, and everyone's happy. No one's sad.
Mm.
So that's what this life's about. It's about being happy. It don't matter what race you are, as long as everyone's happy and they're having a good time meeting one another, and you're peaceful. And there's food for
That's it.
plenty everyone that when they come there to things like that. It's
Wow, was
about
there a lot of food?
being open towards one another with an open heart and open mind.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Everyone,
No,
thanks for the time anyway, It's good. Yeah, and thank you very much to all the people who support us, and even just to listen and be open to listen to our story. We thank them too, we're here for everybody. We're not only here for ourselves. And fighting this and doing what I'm doing is not just for me. It's for everybody.
mm.
And that's what I want to do. So, but anyway, I suppose I better have some dinner, and God bless everybody.
No
So,
worries, mate. You read my mind. We are
yeah,
at
that's
one
what stopped me
hour
from
and
having a beer
40
today.
minutes now. No, it's all right, mate. That's all good. Thank you very much for coming on and sharing your story. And I'm sure the community is going to get to know you a little
Yeah.
bit more, especially as we work through that documentary. Remind the people again, if you'd like to help us get that Indigenous documentary. The time I got to share with Earl and
Yes.
several other, was it
And we said
28,
there were
28 tribes, I think it was. We all gathered together, and that was just such an amazing day. I look forward to putting that together for people. It's just such a huge job, so much footage, and still more to film and to learn about before I can put it together properly. It is going to be a huge job. So anybody that can afford to fund that, so I can take the time off work to dedicate to it, please do. Definitely a big shout out to our Patreons, Jeannie, Lee, Jennifer, Gaza, Mark, Carla, Karina, and Ruben, our latest addition to the Patreons. By becoming a Patreon, you become just a little bit closer to helping me do this so much more professionally, where I'm not rushing home after starting work at 4 o'clock in the morning and coming home at 5 p.m. and then madly trying to get things done in time for these sort of shows. I'd love to make this a job. Anybody who's got any stories they want to share, drop us a line at nqfreedomnetwork@protonmail.com. Of course, all these links are in the description if you're looking for them, and it's a little bit rough. And I definitely want to thank so many people here. Like, look at these wonderful comments. We've got Anna saying thank you, Diane saying stay strong, Valerie, love your work, Earl and Mona, Jewel, thank you, Anna, yes, God bless you all, Jan Murphy. Another big supporter of the Cafe Locked Out crowd. Yep, great outlook, Earl. Happy, peaceful, enough food and kind people around is what we all need. Susan, thanks for a great show, and you are one strong couple. 832 by Diane. For those who aren't familiar, that's the Bible passage that says the truth will set us free. A lovely old, everybody coming together here from Lindsworth in our Rumble crew. And it's great to see that Rumble can make comments now. All you Rumble people, if you're just watching and you're thinking, you know what? I want to get in there and comment, make that account. Like, even if you've got to create absolute bullshit details, fake accounts, fake names, who cares? I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. When the internet first came out, the first thing I did was start bullshitting. Why should I give the internet this information? Here I am just putting my name, my face, and everything on the internet now. Like, I just don't care anymore. I've gotten past that phobia.
The biggest thing, biggest thing that really hurt me the most was when they took my guns off me, or weapons off me, because for funerals and weddings with our tribe, I used to help them with the food. But now I can't do that because I used to love eating wallaby.
Yeah.
And that's what really hurt me the most, because is getting food for the tribes like that when we lose a loved one. And even I used to get like the fish too for them, but I still do the fishing anyway. So if I could, help them like that, but I've been that busy in trying to sort out my tilt tray truck. Yeah. But anyway, we just got to be strong.
That's it, mate.
Okay,
We'll get
thank you.
And I'm loving helping you guys out. Anna, of course, I'll definitely keep you guys posted. Like I said, what I really need is some economic support to do the things I want to do. When I'm pulling 12 and 14-hour days, it doesn't leave much time. And here I am. I pulled a 12-hour day again today, and I'm here's the end of my day. I'm going to do this, go shove some food in my face, hope that it digests, and then shove myself into a bed again. But yeah, look, I can't thank the viewers enough for watching and supporting this. And Wayne, yeah, share. Things like sharing are so important, and clicking the like. I've seen like 40 people up here have chucked in various different emojis and things and interacted with it. As we deal with an algorithmic computer-driven world, as we present these concepts, it's very important that people understand how important it is that that you make a fake account if you don't want to show your name or whatever. Big shout out to those who will put their face, like Janine here. Love, light, and blessings. Thanks heaps. Like that is courage. That is power. We've all put our stories and our faces to this. If you're sitting there behind the computer going, oh, I don't want to even make an account because I'm afraid the government will do this, come on, grow a set, because look at what we've done here. It's only through strength and not letting this fear take hold of us can we get through this. Thanks heaps for coming on, Earl and Mona. I really, really do appreciate you sharing this story, and it's one I wanted to do for a long time, and I just couldn't figure any other way to do it than to do it live like this. I think we will continue this story a little bit further in the future because there's a lot more footage that I've got that I think we need to share. And of course, this story is ongoing, but this has been a great start for everybody to sort of see what it's all about. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much to everybody watching. Yeah. Till next time,
And
guys.
we'll see you Sunday.
Yes, Sunday. I think I might stick to the, we'll say 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. What do you reckon? 9 or 11 or 10, Earl? What do you reckon?
Yeah,
On
around
Sunday.
better time.
Yeah. What I reckon I'll make it 11
that-
o'clock on Sunday, Queensland time, which I think's 12 o'clock for New South
Okay.
Wales and all that, and that would be 1 o'clock for WA, I think, somewhere in that vicinity. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks everybody very much for watching, and yeah, see you Sunday.
Finished. That's done.